Hello everyone, welcome to Come Sit at My Table. We are Tom and Melissa, and we're really glad you're joining us for this video. Today we're going to make a dessert. We're making a dessert that I got the recipe for 30 years ago. In 1993, a lady in our church named Rosa Elliott gave me a recipe for dirt cake. Now, even though it's called dirt cake, of course, there's no dirt in it. It's actually Oreos that are ground up. So if you like Oreos, you're going to love this dessert. I don't feel like it has a strong Oreo flavor. So if somebody doesn't like Oreos, I can't imagine they don't. But if they don't, they're still going to like this dessert. Let me show you what you're going to need to make dirt cake. First, you're going to need about 1.5 pounds or a little better of Oreo cookies. Now, I've already used one whole package. This is just a little over 1 pound. I've already used one package of these this morning, and I'm going to show you what to do with them. And I did save a few to do on video. But you're just going to use 1 whole pound and then part of another one. There are 3 rows of cookies, and I've used 2 of those. So I guess like 1 2/3 pounds of cookies. But honestly, you can use as much as you want to. You just need to have enough of the chocolate outside crunched up that you can cover the bottom and the top of your dessert. All right, so a couple of bags of Oreos. You're also going to need 1 stick of butter. And this is real butter. This is not margarine. We don't use margarine in this house. So it's 1 stick of butter. You're also going to need 1 cup of powdered sugar. Now, some people call it powdered sugar, some people call it confectioner sugar, some people call it 10X sugar. It's all the same thing. So if you go to the store and you find powdered sugar, that's what you need. If it says 10X or confectioner sugar, it's all the same thing, but you need 1 cup of that. You're also going to need a 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese. And you want that at room temperature. You also want your butter at room temperature. We don't refrigerate our butter, so it's always at room temperature. But I took this out of the refrigerator, I don't know, an hour ago or so. So just let it come to room temperature so it will mix up better and not be lumpy. You're also going to need 2 boxes. I think these are 3.4 ounce boxes of instant, make sure it says instant, vanilla pudding. You do not want cook and serve. Make sure it says instant. 2 boxes of Jell-O instant vanilla pudding. You're also going to need 12 ounces of Cool Whip. Now this is a 16-ounce tub because they didn't have any 12-ounce tubs. So we won't use all of this, but you need 12 ounces of Cool Whip. And of course, you don't want that to be frozen, so make sure you've kept it in your refrigerator for a day or 2 to let it kind of thaw out. And last, you're going to need 3 cups of whole milk. I guess you could use 2%, 1% skim. We don't use that. We only use whole milk. I would suggest whole milk just because it's thicker and richer. And my goodness, you're doing a dessert anyway. So use whole milk. Okay, here's what you do with your cookies. You're just going to take your cookies and open them up. And then you're going to scrape out the white center. And you're going to put it in one bowl and your chocolate cookies in another bowl, because you're going to use the outside to make what looks like dirt. And the center, the cream part from the center of your cookie, is going to go in the filling. So I'm going to get one more.
Somebody's going to be wondering about the double stuff.
Yeah, double stuff works okay. It's just that with a double stuffed cookie, you don't get as many cookies as you do with regular Oreos. And if you use the double stuff, you're not going to have as much of the chocolate for the top and bottom of your dessert. So you may want to use the full 2 pounds if you're doing the double stuff. Okay, so once you get those separated, you're going to take your chocolate cookies and you're going to put those in a food processor.
Well, if you don't have a food processor.
Good question. I don't really know how you would get it as fine as what it needs to be to look like dirt, but you could try. I've never done it any other way. I've always just used this little food processor. This is a little food processor that I think somebody gave me when I built this.
I had it when I got married.
Did you really?
When we got married.
Okay.
I already had it.
I thought it was one I had.
Nope.
All right. So
my mom used to put like graham crackers in a like a Ziploc bag, and we would mash them up. That was kind of our job as the kids.
You can use a rolling pin or the bottom of a cup or something to smash it up. But it would take some work to get it as fine as you're going to need it. So I will tell you this little, if you don't have a little food processor, just a small one, they are so handy. They're easy to use, easy to clean. I really would encourage you to get a small one. This is a Sunbeam Oscar.
We've had it for a long time.
I don't know if they even still make them.
I can't even remember when I got it, but
okay.
I know I had it when we got married.
Now, this is going to be noisy, but you just grind these up until they're, well, I'll show you what they're going to be like. Okay, that doesn't take long. Then you're just going to put those in a bowl, and like I said, I've already done most of the Oreos this morning, so I would be a little bit ahead. Let's unplug that. Now, this is what your Oreos are going to look like. You can see, yeah, that's a good description. Kind of look like coffee grounds. So there's your dirt for your dirt cake. Okay. Now, we are going to start making our filling. So in a mixing bowl, you're going to put your stick of butter and your block of cream cheese. Now, you can put all 4 of these ingredients in there together if you want, but I kind of like creaming together my cream cheese and butter first. I just think it helps it blend up a little better. If I can get this on there. So I put it in first and let it just kind of blend for a minute. Once I feel like those two are kind of mixed together and I can't see any more butter, then I start to put in my powdered sugar. So, actually, you know what? I don't think I'm going to do it that way. I think I'm just going to dump it in. Okay. And you're going to take the cream filling out of your Oreos and put that in with it. It all goes in together. Don't leave any of it out. Put it all in there. And I'm going to put this on just in case. Thank you, babe.
Can I help you out there?
And we're just going to let that mix for a minute. Make sure it's creamed together really well. Just want to make that completely creamed together. Okay. Let's see. We do need to scrape our beater a little bit. Let me grab a little spatula here. Scrape. It's got some cream cheese right there that didn't get mixed very well. So, scrape that down. And let's blend that again. Just because we don't want a hunk of cream cheese in there. Okay. Now, we are going to take that mixture and just set it aside. We will come back to that in just a minute. Let me get this scraped off because we don't want to waste any of that. That is so delicious. Okay. So I'm going to save that because I'm going to use it again in a minute, but we're going to set that over to the side. Now, in another bowl, we are going to whisk together our milk and our pudding mix. Put our cold milk, and you do want your milk to be good and cold. Don't take it out of the refrigerator until you're ready to make your dessert. So we just put our, a bit of a cloud there. We're going to put our pudding in with our milk. And whisk that up just a little bit. While that's whisking, I'm going to clean up just a little bit around here. You just want to make sure that you get all that pudding kind of dissolved into the milk. And now we will start adding in our Cool Whip. In a little bit of it. This Cool Whip, because it's cold, will also help to thicken that. Let's put about that much in to start with. Get that blended in. Trying to get my beater out of the way. That didn't work. Let's put in the rest of the Cool Whip that we're going to use. And that's probably about 12 ounces right there. Okay. Now, you may need to take a spatula and just try to kind of move it around a little bit to get the bottom all mixed up in with that Cool Whip. Just move it around some. Scrape it off your spatula so you don't waste anything. Blend it up. And now we're going to combine those two mixtures. Put that there. Now, actually I'll lay that right there. Now I'm going to use the big one. So we'll take, now this is, remember this is our cream cheese butter, our powdered sugar, and the center out of our Oreos. Put that into it. We want all that delicious goodness out of there. I dropped it, didn't I? Okay, let's scrape that off. And now we're going just to beat that up. All right. Now all you're doing here is making sure that that all gets blended together. That's all already all mixed. You just want to make sure that those two mixtures come together. You don't want any lumps. Or you can see how that's getting thicker. I think that looks pretty good.
It smells nice.
Okay. So let's take our spatula, scrape this all off. You might hear a little noise in the background. We are having our family room painted today. So there are painters here painting our family room because we are switching it. Since our kids are gone, we really don't use the family room very much. So Melissa is moving all of her scrapbook stuff into the family room. And it's going to become a combination family room and scrapbook room. All right.
Gonna come out of the little closet that I used to be working in.
Well, it went from her having a large closet taking over one of our bedrooms to now taking over the family room. Okay, let's clean up and put our cake together. Now, you're going to need a 9x13 pan, just like a cake pan or a baking dish. And you're going to put a little bit of your Oreos in the bottom. You really want just enough to cover the bottom because you don't want the filling sticking to the bottom of your cake pan. So I just take my hand and kind of pat it out. You just want to make sure you save plenty of Oreos for the top of your cake because you want to make sure it's completely covered so that people only see the Oreos. That way it looks like a pan of dirt. Let me promise you, it does not taste like dirt. Okay. Now, we're just going to take our filling, and I just kind of gently spoon it over to start with, because we don't want to move those Oreo crumbs around. So I just kind of spoon it in before I start spreading it. It just helps those to stay in place a little better. Once you get them pretty well covered, then you can start to spread it. Okay. You can see it's going to make a full pan. We do have some friends coming over this evening, and so we told them we would fix some food and a dessert. So this is the dessert we're having with them tonight. Man, that smells good. Okay, I think I've scraped about all I can get out there. So you just want to kind of move your pudding mix around a little bit so that it's even. Get it down in the corners. You don't want somebody to be cheated out of some if they get a corner piece. And this is not a dessert that you can really, honey, I'm leaving that for you.
Oh.
This is not a dessert that you can really cut, you know, slice it. You're going to spoon this. Okay, now, here goes our dirt. You just want to kind of sprinkle it over the top and then, you know, use your fingers or a fork or whatever you want to use to kind of move it around. I usually use a fork because it's easier to move it gently, a little bit at a time, and get the whole thing covered. Oop, just about lost some there. Just make sure that you get all that pudding layer completely covered, because you don't want to see the pudding. You want it to look like dirt.
I think I've seen people put like gummy worms on top of this or something for kids.
I don't like that. We have seen that.
If you kids, they might think that's funny.
I'm not a gummy worm person, but yeah, if you're doing this for kids, stick some worms in there. And guys, that's it. That's your whole dessert. It's really pretty simple.
How long does it take to set up?
You're going to have to put it in the refrigerator for several hours. I'm going to say at least 4 to 6 hours. You want it to have plenty of time for that pudding to set up. So, yeah, I'm going to say probably 4 to 6 hours. Or do it overnight. Make this the night before you're going to serve it. And just leave it in the refrigerator overnight. All right. There's our dirt cake. I'm going to tell you, it is really delicious. I absolutely love this cake. All right. Thank you for watching our video. We will, I guess before our company comes, we'll go ahead and scoop a piece of this out and we'll come back and show you what it looks like. So we will be back after this has time to set up and let you see the final result. We'll be back in a few hours. Our dirt cake has been in the refrigerator for about 5 to 6 hours and it has firmed up nicely. I want you to look at how nice that looks. You can see the Oreo crumbs on the bottom. You can see the nice creamy layer in the middle, and then the Oreos on top that make it look like it's dirt. Also, I want you to look at the cake so you can see what it looks like when it's scooped out. Now, I just used a spatula to take this out, and that works fine. You can just spoon it out if you want to just make a mess out of it. If you want nice, cleaner pieces, just use a spatula. All right, let's do my favorite part. All right, babe, you get the first bite.
Oh, if you insist.
I know how much you love this dessert. Guess what cookie is my wife's favorite cookie? What would that be?
It's not oatmeal raisin.
She hates oatmeal raisin.
Because I always think it looks like chocolate chips, and it's so disappointing when you bite into a raisin and you think it's supposed to be a chocolate chip. It's not a nice trick to play on people.
I'm telling you, this is such a really nice, another bite.
Sure.
Really nice summer dessert because there's no baking. You don't have to turn on the oven. You don't even have to turn on the stove. It's cool. It's been refrigerated. It's creamy. It's just really good. It's good for any time of year. Let's just be honest. But it's a really good summer dessert. One of my favorites. Thank you so much for watching our videos. We really do appreciate it, and we appreciate the nice comments. If you would, please go right below this video and give us a thumbs up. If you've not already done it, go right below the video and click the subscribe button and the little notification bell that's right beside of the subscribe button. That just subscribes you to our channel, and it will notify you every time we put a new video on. And then, of course, there is a share button below the video. If you would click share and share our video to your social media pages, it just helps us get the word out about our channel. And remember that right under the video, there is a description box with the title of the video. If you'll click in that box, it will expand. And Melissa always puts the written recipe for each of our videos. That way you don't have to try to write them down. They're already written there for you. All right, thanks again. And remember, you are always welcome to come sit at my table. Have a great day.